Today I'm going to go over a referral agent. Now, the referral agent I've built basically takes any new customers that we've had with my company Triggerfy and reaches out to that individual's team and says, hey, your team has signed up. Why didn't you also come and sign up as well? The idea being is it takes one user and turns it into 3 if we can do so. So let's have a look. So here we are. We're in NA10. This is just like I said, it's like a Zapier and Make on steroids because we can add some codes. We have some great agent capabilities in here and so on. We're using a webhook now. And so as you can see here, I'm basically taking a webhook from our authentication provider, which is Clerk. Authentication just means it manages people signing up to our website. And what basically happens is as a new user signs up, we receive that data via a webhook. From there, we start to then basically clean it. So we get their first name, last name, and email address from the webhook. So we clean the data. And then we send it through to this AI agent. Inside of this AI agent, we've given it the following prompt. Go find me 1 to 2 people from this company. We give it the email address. Don't find me this person. So that person being the individual that's already signed up with my company. We've also given it what we call like a system message. And this system message says, you're a helpful assistant that will enable me to do some prospecting and call on the people search tool. I'm only interested in finding people from director level and up within the following parameters. And then I give the following titles. Here we're using, I think we're using we're using 4.0 as the model. We don't need to use, I do find that Claude these days is a little bit better, but obviously GPT is a little bit cheaper. And if you're doing it for more just kind of mundane tasks, I tend to use GPT for that. We're using Apollo here and we're using their people search API. Now, the reason I haven't just done this via code is we can also start to upload what we call like memories, right, to the agent. And here what I tend to do is I start to upload memories using like a vector database, or I sometimes use like a Postgres as well. And I'm giving it information on who it should look for, right? And so what I mean by that is if there's like 5 or 10 potential people to go after, it looks at our current database of people that are clients and works out the best one that would be appropriate for them. And you can just think of the prompt to get it there. Then what we're doing is we're saying, hey, I want you to return this data in a structured JSON format. And so we've got full name, LinkedIn URL, job title, email, and then the domain. So what then happens, it gives us that JSON, and then we basically say, take that JSON and we split it out into multiple different fields. From there, we then start to send this data through. We're using Prospero in this example now to get their email address. Once we have their email address, it then sends that data through to SmartLead. Now, one of the key things that I'm doing here is Prospero can't handle like 5 people at one time. So we do this thing here called loop over items, which is basically splitting into batches. The batch size is of 1. So what that basically means is we have 5 people coming through here. It stops them here and only sends 1 through. And that as that 1 through happens, it then sends the next until it's done all 5, where it then sends it up to here, where we're also doing another loop because SmartLead can't handle large quantities at one time. And we send it one at a time through into SmartLead. Now, this is kind of more, I would say, like an AI automation, a little bit of like agent kind of esque. If you're really doing the memory side of things, then yes. But it's an incredible workflow and automation to build that's super, super simple. I'm going to leave the JSON of the file below in the description of this video. So you can just upload this simply by coming here, right? I think if you create new projects, workflow, I think you can then import from file and then away you go. You can upload everything that you're wanting to do from there. But as you can see, I've got a lot of different agents that I use. I continuously adding agents here because I'm a big believer in taking my business Triggerfy to 10, 20 mil with as few people as possible. And I feel like agents are the way to do that. I started the journey learning how to do low code, and I still use NA10 a lot, and I'm going to spend a lot of time with NA10. But I've more recently also started to do a lot of actual code development using things like Cursor, using things like Windsurf, using things like Bolt, V0, these types of tools. And I'm going to do some videos and tutorials, quite long ones, basically showing how I just build full micro SaaS and SaaS applications, which include kind of agents in that as well. So if you like what you're seeing, like, comment, subscribe, and follow on the journey.